What's going on, YouTube? We back with another one. Alright, so we already talked about it. Your boy Powell testified today. He didn't really say much that we didn't know was already gonna be happening. Federal funds rate gonna be higher than expected. Initially, gonna have to keep increasing interest rates. Inflation may take a little longer to come down, maybe above the 2% that they wanted for the year. Blah 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 blah. Right. So now we're just gonna really talk about the power of what happens when this dude starts talking and the volatility that he really just puts in the market. So we see Powell started talking at 9 o'clock. This is 9, right? This is after. All right, once things got going. Actually, he started talking at 10 Eastern. I think this said Eastern. So this actually may be when he starts talking. One of these scandals, okay? So like I said, if we did get a push, it was gonna keep pushing. Kind of blew through this level, but we look in the 15-minute. We see it kind of want to retest it, but blew straight through the 105 level, straight up into our 105 600 level. That I said if price did push above this level, this is where it was gonna be going. Looking at the 4 hour, and this is just previous highs, right? Just looking back. So now we see we have this big bullish engulfing candle, and honestly, I'm gonna be expecting for price to really just come back and retest this 105, just for how clean of a break it was through these levels, and just because of what we have going on is I do believe that we're gonna come back down to this level here before we make another move up. Or if nothing else, come to potentially a zone. I want to say right here. If nothing else, come back into this 105 200 zone. But I'm really expecting this 105 zone to be the level that we really retest. So let's just take a look at the other things. US 30. Right. So if we look at US 30, we honestly made a head and shoulders pattern with the higher right shoulder. So if we look at this here, left shoulder, head, higher right shoulder, small drop, right? So that's pretty apparent there when we're looking at the 1 hour time frame and just what happens when he starts talking. Just because of the fear that apparently he instills in the market, even though he's pretty much, I feel saying the said message, at least these last 2 times that he spoke. So just looking at it, honestly, it wasn't nothing crazy. It's not anything that we didn't say would potentially happen. I said potentially we could come up here. After I made the video, I kind of just looked back through some of the stuff that I had, information I had, and I was like, okay, I really do think that overall what he's going to do is just going to cause, this conversation is going to be a more fear-based conversation. And especially with how the senators approached the message, they approached it with I don't know if you guys watched the testimony or whatever. I watched the first hour of it, and the way they, I think it's Brown, Mr. Brown, Scott Brown, Senator Brown, him and the other gentleman, the way they approached the conversation was from this superior scarcity mindset, like what the Fed doing is really just overly killing the American people. And once he kind of set the tone for the meeting that way, I already knew what was going to happen from that point on. He literally set the tone in the first 2-3 minutes. Okay, he is really setting this very hell is coming type of mentality. From my personal opinion, that's kind of the message, general vibe I got from it when I was watching. And the other senators, it was just a lot of fear-based talking, and that fear-based talking, of course, pursued fear in the market. So just taking a look, kind of had this head and shoulders pattern, right? We see it drop. We did break below this 33200 level, this 33 flat level, and all the way down to our, I don't even know what level this is actually, around our 32800 level, right? So just taking a look, right? I said these zones will be potential areas for markets to either pause, reverse, or react to. So we see when price initially came down to this 3-3 flat, we saw price really try to make this push to the upside, right? Came to this level, tried to push to the upside, failed to have that bullish momentum push to the upside, and just continued to fall down to this 328 level here. So from that point, it's probably extremely undersold at this point. Now, you know, I don't really typically use indicators. The one indicator I would say I do use occasionally is the RSI. Just getting a gauge for undersold and underbought moments in a market when it's like this. Even though you don't really need an indicator to really tell you like, hey, the market's probably a little bit undersold, but just looking at that, just checking the levels a little bit. Definitely undersold on the 1 hour, less on the 4 hour and daily. So I'm going to be looking forward to markets coming back up. It is NFP week. I'm not sure what news we have tomorrow, but this is really just a review of what Powell, the power of Powell. You know what I mean? PP, power of Powell, POP. That pop. When he gets to talking, things going to pop, man. I'm telling you. So we see we kind of had this come back down, retest the neckline of this inverted head and shoulders. Now I'm looking at it here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right. This is the neckline. So we see we kind of retested this neckline of this pattern here. And honestly, I'll probably just be expecting for markets probably come up there, retest this level, or markets may potentially want to keep pushing up. But if nothing else, I'm expecting buys back up to this 3-3 flat level, just because market just needs to recover something, right? And excuse me, I do believe market will have enough momentum between now and London to probably like trickle its way back up to this general area here, especially with this gap in price, this loss of momentum here. So probably push back up to this level, and then from here, see what it does. It's not really too worried about it, but market's definitely going to need to recover some of those losses. When it comes to GU is perfect setup still. Triple tops, quadruple tops. We see price just kind of fell through the sky. It actually fell through the level that I didn't expect markets to really just come crashing down as much as they did. It's not like I didn't expect it to happen, but I also wasn't like anticipating like a huge drop. I was just really going with the punches today. So we did finally break below this, around this 1.194 area. And I actually had to take a look at the higher time frames, trying to get a gauge on price once kind of started getting that break below, right? So once we got this initial break on the 1 hour, I had to dig into my bag, look at previous price action, went to the daily, refresh that, and just really found some new lows in price, right? So I seen this really kind of confirmed this low for me, this area, so I wasn't really too worried about that. So then I went to previous higher low points, and I found this higher low point to really kind of be the main one that I was really looking forward to price probably retesting, and it's like 18200 around there, right? Around this 18200 level, like in between here. So if we take a look, we see that's exactly what it did. Get rid of this little line. Get rid of this. Just take a look back at the 1 hour. We see price literally came right down to that zone. Quarter point levels, market structure, it's pretty much all you need. So came back to that zone. So of course, if we check RSI, it's probably severely undersold at this point. Yeah, it's pretty undersold. It's even undersold on the 4 hours. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to probably some quick buys. I don't know if we're going to get a full retest of this around this 19200 area. I don't expect a full momentum push back here. It's possible. It's going to depend on excuse me. I'll say it's mainly going to depend on what the U.S. dollar does. If it does have a significant pullback, then of course we can see that move there. I would probably be suspecting, if we don't get a significant pullback, that makes sense. There we go. Probably expecting price to come back somewhere around this general area. Probably retest about halfway percent this big candle here. Maybe a little bit lower. Let's see. Maybe just 1.9. 1.9 flat. Seems like a pretty decent area, honestly, just by looking at market structure. So I'll probably be looking forward to price retesting this 1.9 flat. And from that point, just taking it as it comes, right? So we never want to really marry a bias, and especially after a big move like today. I'm not sure what we have going on tomorrow as far as news catalysts. So he testifies again tomorrow, and we also have job openings. So honestly, if he testifies again, we'll probably just see maybe a potential run up during London. Small run-ups, and then when this comes out, probably have another sell-off. We don't have any major impact in G News. Oh, and we got non-farm employment. ADP. So it is NFP week. So we do have this coming out. Forecast at 197. Personal bias, I don't believe we're gonna hit that number. I feel like we'll come under that estimate. So if we do, probably expect for this fallout to continue. Luckily for us, that news does really come out right before New York opens, so that should give us a little wiggle room to see how things play out, or will play out. And when it comes to S&P 500, it just really came back to the previous higher high point. It wasn't really anything too fancy. 398 flat. So came back to that point, pretty much looking for the same thing. Price potentially come around this area here potentially. So 4.9 flat would be a good area, it looks like. Oh, wait. What happened? Oh, it's 410. My bad. So price probably a retest somewhere around here. If news does come out negative or under forecast, probably have something like this. Continue moving to the downside. Honestly, I'm not really going to marry a bullish bias. I'm not going to say I'm marry a bearish bias either, but just looking at movement, probably can suspect more potential sell-offs moving forward. So that is the post-Powell movement, post-pop movements there. Nothing too crazy, nothing we didn't suspect. Like, if you watched the previous video, we kind of talked about two different outcomes. Clearly, if we look at indices, we had the bearish outcome of things. If we look at DXY, we had the bullish outcome of things, so giving us a bearish outcome on DXY, or not DXY, GU, XPF 500, and US 30. Pretty much a easy day. It wasn't anything too crazy. I mean, at these points in times, like the last 2-3 times Powell speak, it's just been sell-offs once he gets to talking. So that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead, put a like, subscribe, hit that like button, subscribe, notification bell, and see you in the next one. Peace.